What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my recap for P Valley Season 1, Episode 4, The Trap. Now, The Trap is the perfect name for this episode because that's what I felt like when I was watching the end of this episode, that I was trapped. And I'll break it down and you'll understand why I felt that way at the end. If you're new, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 30K subs. I really appreciate your support. Now, let's get into it. Now, when the episode kicks off, we see Miss Mississippi dancing for some dude, but he ain't really tipping. And so we see that Mercedes come and she say, "Hey, what's up, Freckles? Why you ain't tipping?" And he's telling her, how he don't want to give money to these strippers, could feel like giving $1 million to a homeless man. And so she say, "Then what you in here for?" And so he basically throw the money on the floor. She tell him pick it up. He refused. We got Schwartz, a Negro, come grab him, and he got him by the throat, tell him basically give the lady the money or I'm gonna beat you down. So dude didn't want to do it at first, but he ended up giving him the money. He ain't even want to call her a lady at first. And so she said, "Hey, don't worry about him. He a punk." He feeling some kind of way. She said, "Yeah, but what if he right?" Meanwhile, we see that Autumn Night is sitting here getting all these bottles of liquor and pouring it in the bathtub, and then next thing you know, while she doing that, of course, she having flashbacks, and then she starts soaking her money in the bathtub, which I don't know why she did this. Please let me know in the comments below. Anyway, she got the money soaked in liquor, and so she bring it to some lady at the bank to open up an account, and she's saying, "Hey, sorry as people spill money on the liquor, but guys love the new girl." And she like, "Yeah, don't me and my husband know." And so anyway, she go ahead and set up a bank account, and we see that she got a deposit slip. She just put in a couple $1,000s in the bank. So it seemed like she doing good, Miss Lakeisha Savage. So meanwhile, we see that Mercedes is playing a video of her girls dancing, and she talking to this property owner about how she's gonna have a studio in here and how she gonna charge this much and how everything gonna work out. And she say, "Well, you better hurry up because there's other people that want this properties. They buying them up like whole cakes, girl." And so she trying to hurry up. Meanwhile, we see Mercedes' mama is over here, Miss Patrice Woodbine, singing. She think that the homeless is coming to see her, but she just imagining. Then she got another little feather in her eyelash. I don't know how all these feathers lands in her eye all the time. Nevertheless, she pulls it out slow like Pastor Cavassier did for her, and then she gets the 20 racks out the bank for her daughter Mercedes. And so people honking, she cussing them out because she taking all day, but she pull off and she on her way. Meanwhile, we see Autumn. She in stripper training class and stripper boot camp, sitting here trying to learn how to work that pole from Get 'em Gidget. And so she trying to tell her, and she say, "My upper body strength ain't that good." And she said, Gidget say, "It ain't about that. You gotta you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and work the pole." And she say, "All right, well, we'll see." And meanwhile, while they talking, Miss Mississippi come in, and so she got her baby with her and everything, and so she need to make a little run or whatever. She asking Uncle Clifford to help, and he like, "No, you go take your baby with you to the store. I ain't about to be babysitting up in here." And so he give the baby a little coochie coochie coo real quick, and then the baby laugh, and so then he leave. And so right before he leave, he tell Autumn Night come on with him. So they walk off, and while they walk off, we see Mississippi tell her, "Hey, I done overheard that the Pink in trouble and it may be closing down." And so that's the first time that Gidget heard it. Meanwhile, Cliff is talking to her in the back. He say, "Look, I need you to talk to that Andre." And she say, "No, I don't want to keep talking to him. He creepy." She say, "Look, it's okay. I know we need some more info though, and he love telling you stuff." And she said, but he got pictures of me in his computer." And she said, "Girl, you ain't special. He got pictures of me in that computer. Look, you see, he got pictures of everybody, girl. So go ahead and get that tea." And so they have a little toast. Meanwhile, we see Andre having a little meeting with, he trying to get this property together, and he talking with the developer over the internet. on the computer, and he's saying, hey, everything is running smooth. It looked like the pink may have found out though, but we should be all right. And so he said, hey, look, we might just be best to make him an offer, buy him out. He say, ain't no need to buy him out if he gonna be on the auction block. He say, boy, you white folks. He say, look, you took it the wrong way. All I mean is it's no reason to buy him out if they about to be going under. And make sure that this goes through, or we just have to take our property development elsewhere. And Andre in trouble because he don't know what to do, and his boss is getting pissed. And so meanwhile, we see that Mercedes can't get a hold of her mama to get that money, and we see that Miss Patrice is sitting there singing at the church, and she's just supposed to be singing, but next thing you know, she turning that song into a sermon, and she started walking up and down and everything. And so the pastor, Cavassier, and crew is starting to get a little pissed that she trying to steal their shine, getting their shine on. So he tried to cut her off, and she say, I feel I need to dance. And so that was her way of basically continuing the sermon and getting away from him. And so she moved off the stage and try to walk down the aisles and try to act like she got the Holy Ghost. And this brother walked down there and grab her and take her to the back off the floor and tell her, hey, you better calm down or we gonna have to have you find another place. And she say, oh, okay, I guess it's only good for your hoes. She say, don't you blaspheme in the church. And she say, Pastor Cavassier, please. Meanwhile, we see that Mercedes is getting all booed up by the coach, and he's steadily trying to offer her a better life and everything. This dude then bought some type of diamond a necklace for her, Mercedes, and she smiled, whatever, but she say, hey, that don't go in the G-string. He put it on her or whatever. Anyway, he want to do all these nice things for her. Meanwhile, Uncle Clifford Pooh is back there. He talking to the girls, trying to get them motivated, but Gidget's like, why we need to be doing all of that anyway if the Pank in trouble? And he say, well, who said that? Where you hear that from, huh? Who told you that the Pank in trouble? And so everybody looking around, and Mercedes walk in. She like, don't worry, girls, why y'all looking sad? She like, Mercedes, the Pank going under. She say, Uncle Clifford just a little behind. He be all right. They like, wait a minute, you already knew and you wasn't gonna tell us? She said, girl, I've been telling y'all to save y'all money. You wasn't gonna do nothing different. She say, oh, okay, it's like that. She say, I've been telling y'all to save y'all stacks. Y'all blowing it on everything. They say, well, it's easy. All you got to take care of is a dog. She said, well, I told y'all stop having all them kids. Who told you to do that? And so anyway, they see Andre, he finally getting met up with Haley, and so she like, I'm gonna talk to you. He like, I don't want to talk to you. She like, I'm sorry, okay, I shouldn't have did that. He like, yeah, I was trying to do something good for this city and look like it may not happen now. She say, well, look, hey, he said, I jeopardized all that for a stripper. She like, hey, look, I might be a stripper, but it's better than being some old Captain Saver hoe that think I'm better than everybody and gonna save the whole town. And he said, well, you know what? Why don't you go home? Why don't you go be a mother to your kid instead of being some thought? And so she get all upset, start crying. She start hitting him and saying, screw you, whatever. And so he don't know what happened. She start getting all emotional or whatever. So they kind of like embrace for a moment. And then next thing you know, we see it's the next day and she waking up in the morning. And so we see he's sitting in the chair and we don't know how she got there or what. And so she say, oh, you didn't want to sleep next to my crazy ass. He say, nah, I'm just thinking about what it could have happened, and I'm just, trying to do things different. And she saw a wedding ring and said, you know what? She got herself a good one. Meanwhile, we see that she finally coming go back to the bank or somewhere to get some more money from these money transfers, and she keep doing 9,000, which is right under the amount that you need to tell the IRS. So we see it in the FBI. So she's doing something illegal, changing hairstyles, steadily getting 9,000 each time, just the perfect amount so that it's underneath the amount you need to tell the FBI. Meanwhile, It's Mercedes' last dance. The place is packed, jumping. We got Lil Murda and his little crew showed up. He talking about he VIP. Oh, Diamond Schwarzenegger was about to crush him, but then little Uncle Cliffy say, "Come on, let him in." So meanwhile, we see Mercedes. She can't get a hold of her mama. She done got text from the realtor saying it's a competing offer, so she trying to hurry up. Meanwhile, she come with her old little outfits, give it to the girls, and everybody got an attitude with her. She opened up her locker and she see that they done made some type of little memorable send off for her, pictures of all the fun they had. You got the OG 7 years of service Mercedes retirement party. Then they pull out the little diamond crusted titties and give it to her, so she ready to put on the show. And they start all helping her get dressed and prepared like she's some type of Egyptian goddess and everything. And she got on the outfit and she is looking good, and she do look like this, the star of the show. And so everybody like, okay, Mercedes, you're gonna be killing it, girl. And so then she sit down or whatever, and then a couple people is like, yeah, it's gonna be good, but what we gonna do if this place go under? And all I am is pretty. I don't know, I ain't got no gym like you. And so now Mercedes starting to feel bad because some of these other girls ain't got no backup plan. Meanwhile, we see Lil Murda trying to get DJ to Never Scared to play his track. He like, look, you got to talk to Mercedes, man. I can't just put it on her like last time. So he trying to find Mercedes. Meanwhile, Mercedes then saw Big Debo that was outside, that was on house arrest. He done found a way to make it to her last dance. And so she's like, oh, so you done made it, huh? And he said, I told you I wasn't gonna miss this, girl. I got a fat boy wearing the monitor now. And so then Lil Murda walk up, he try to talk to her. Everybody jump up. Man, what you doing over here, man? You being disrespectful. He like, I ain't mean nothing, short. I just want to wish you the best, Mercedes. You gonna be missed, alright? Hey, you have yourself the best time, alright? Then he like, man, these little punk little young boys don't know. Meanwhile, Mercedes go in the back, talk to Cliffy Pooh. She give old boy back there the little necklace like, this from the coach. And they just laughing. The coach over here pouring out his heart, and they think he a damn joke. Meanwhile, she talking to Cliff. She say, hey, you gonna be all right? He like, what's it to you? Huh? You go ahead, turn around. Let me see that. That's how I want to remember you. And she said, hey, you need me to stay? I'll stay. And so he said, no, you go. Then when she left, she got the call from her mama saying that she got the money. She's like, look, just meet me at Kroger, mama. I'll be there. And so she trying to hurry up and meet her. And she like, that locker, that ain't going to be there for long. That'll be mine. She like, well, you know why the OG got the biggest locker? Because she earned it. She said, well, you got any words of advice? Yeah, you always spot the exits. You never know when you got to turn a closed door into a window. She said, don't you mean a window into a door? Anyway, we see that everybody out in the party, and this dude that came with Murda called Lil Murda punk. He said, man, I heard you everybody punk. He like, what? Which is basically saying, I heard you gay. And so next thing you know, he ready to fight because he not secure that he is gay, and he ready to beat him up for that. Next thing you know, we see Mercedes come, and she ready to meet her mama to get the money. And she saw that the realtor was there. She like, oh, you ready? She like, I'm sorry, baby. Somebody just gave me the money. She like, what? Next thing you know, she see her mama. She like, oh, okay. Oh, so you gave her the money for me, mama? And she like, what, that's your mama? Let me get out of here. And so she say, baby, the Lord done talk to me. She said, mama, I ain't got time for the sermons. What is it? The Lord done let me know. It's just, he want me to have my own church. She like, what are you talking about? This is my new church right here. This is going to be my church, and that's what the money is for. The Lord want me to have my own sermon, my own congregation. Mercedes started beating the brakes off of that woman. She said, you stole all my money. And then next thing you know, they fighting. And then everybody at the club, meanwhile, waiting on Mercedes' last dance, they is pissed. They is mad. Cliffy Pooh trying to calm everybody down, but it don't seem to be working. So he in the back, desperate, talking about, I need somebody to go out there and talk to him. My little titties and my booty ain't gonna be enough. And so everybody ain't ready and this and that. And then we see Mississippi say, I could do it. And so they like, all right, come on, girl, let's go. And so he like, all right, I got something better for you. I got Mississippi, and she gonna come out here for y'all. And so next thing you know, everybody come on out. They start cheering for her. She get ready to get a little self together, get her confidence together, and then she come out and then she just start putting on the show. She come out, get on the pole. Everybody is clapping, dancing. She climbing up, doing all type of tricks. They playing the music, and Lil Murda, he done got thrown out the club, but he outside. He like, that's my song. That's my song. Meanwhile, everybody dancing, the club jumping. She putting on a hell of a show. Everybody happy. I'm looking at the show. I'm like, oh man, this is pretty cool. This is nice. She got talent. Meanwhile, we see Uncle Cliffy Pooh come out. He like, he said, man, that song, I made that for you. It's some type of love song. He like, oh yeah? Well, why don't you come prove it then? And so now he looking back and forth because he don't want nobody to see what he about to do. Now we see that she's putting on the show. It's very, erotic and looking good, and she got moves and everything. And then they did something I cannot believe that they did, which is they spliced the scenes between this woman dancing erotic and two men kissing and having gay sex. That was very, oh my goodness, I could not believe that happened. And it kind of really, I don't know, they showing her booty flopping around, and then they cutting scenes back and forth with this dude's booty, and that was a big turn off to me. But anyway, we see at the end that Mercedes and her mama go to jail, and some feel bad for her working so hard to get robbed by her mama. Now it's time for some real talk. That's right, I've been waiting for this part of the video. Okay, now before I lay into what y'all want me to know, first, why is she soaking her money in the liquor? Please let me know in the comments. I didn't get that part. What, she just didn't want the girl to count the money or something? I don't know. And then also, what's up with her and these wire transfers with Autumn Night? What do you all think Autumn Night is trying to do with these Lakeisha Savage wire transfers? And also, what's up with Patrice Woodbine, Mercedes' mama, and the Pastor Cavassier? Did they have something going on or what? I mean, what's going on with that? So I think that's some type of extra stuff going on with them that we'll find out about. And also, what I wanted to say is that Mercedes, I feel bad for her working so hard to get robbed by her mom, of all people. And yeah, beating up your mama is taking it pretty far. I don't know if I would have did that. I know she definitely would have got sued. Now, if my mama was younger and in good shape and could take a ass whooping, I don't know. She might have got one on that. That's $20,000 ass whooping. But anyway, we'll see. And now it's time for what goes on with Uncle Clifford and what happened with that scene right there and what I think about that. I think that was poor taste, okay? That was poor taste. You do not have an audience watching one thing and you switch. We're watching a woman dance erotic. You got a group of men watching and they're looking and getting, interested in that. And then you flip the script and show gay sex. They don't even do that in porn. So why would you do that on a television show? You don't see straight sex happening in porn, then all of a sudden it turns into just all out gay sex the way it was with this show. I think that was very poor taste, and it's a way to alienate an audience, because I can see if you wanted to explore that or show that, then you just stick to that scenes and you do it that way. If you wanted to show what Mississippi was doing, you stick to that scenes and you show it that way. You don't show and do a bait and switch where everybody is starting to look at this and like that, and then all of a sudden, as soon as we thinking we're going to see something, you showing her her booty cheeks flap side to side. Then all of a sudden, boom, man booty. That's not how you do it, okay? That's not how you do it. That's not how you introduce, explore, or any of that type of stuff, okay? People trying to say this or that, and I don't like that, okay? And I don't like how people are trying to cover up when they make a mistake and try to blame it on homophobia or this or that. It's not anything to do with homophobia. It is poor taste, period. Homophobia means that somebody is scared of gay people, or they feel they shouldn't work anywhere, or I feel they shouldn't live, or they should be beat. I do not feel any of that. That was poor taste, period. That's it. Poor taste. If you wanted to show that scenes with Uncle Clifford and Lil Murda doing that, then you all explore that separately. You do not mix that in between what you have with a straight woman, and that's just, that's just poor taste, period. Do not blame that on homophobia. Do not blame that on people not ready. Do not blame that on anything. People straight, people gay make mistakes. People straight, people gay exercise poor judgment. People straight, people gay have exercise and poor taste. Period. That's it. I actually watched this episode with a friend of mine who is gay. And when they showed that scene, we both were looking at each other and we was like, what in the world? And she was saying, why did they do that? And I was saying, you beat me to the punch, because I was about to ask you why they do that. And so it was poor taste. Whether you're straight or gay people don't want to see certain things too. All gay people are not just one unified group. Everybody has their own opinions, their own ideas. Some people want to see certain things and some people don't. Some people are watching a show and they have certain expectations when they watch a show, and they don't expect certain things to pop up when they are watching that show. When I checked on Twitter, the showrunner, Katori Call, said that she knew splicing these scenes with Mississippi and Uncle Clifford and Lil Murda was going to be divisive, but homophobia is rampant in our community. No! It's not only divisive, it was poor taste, and it has nothing to do with homophobia. You knew it was divisive because that's bad taste. When you even watching porn, they don't show two men and then splice it with straight sex and women and then back to men, and that's not how you do things. That's bad. You're betraying your audience, and all of this extra big words and stuff you're trying to say and blame everybody else for what you did is wrong. I was with you on some of the things you was doing, but when you wrong, you wrong. Okay, and even other people on Twitter had the same feelings. One of the ladies even said, I don't care for it, and that's just being honest. Let's hope that it isn't any more of this type of mistakes, this type of things. People are going into a show expecting and looking for one thing, and that's fine to show and explore different things in the show, but you can't just trick your audience, you can't betray your audience, and you can't surprise people and force people or trick people to watch or take part in certain things. That's just not right. I can't put out a show and you think you watching the show about basketball, and next thing you know, I'm sitting here killing people or robbing people in the middle, then cut back to the middle of the game, then back to killing and robbing, and that's just not the audience what they was looking for. That's bad taste, that's bad judgment. I can't say, well, y'all don't support Black Lives Matter because you didn't get it. You didn't know that I was showing that the basketball and then how the inner streets and then. No, it's just not right. It's bad taste, and no matter how I would try to spin it or what words being used, bad taste is bad taste. It don't matter if you're gay, straight, or whatever, or it doesn't matter. So people need to accept that, move on, be able to take constructive criticism without trying to redirect or deflect or place the blame on someone else or label them as being a hateful person. Nobody said anything hateful other than that was bad taste and it shouldn't be done, and that's not what we were looking for. Period. That's not hateful. That's not homophobic. That is not wishing any harm or anything to anybody. They need to quit doing that. And hey, I'm Jay. I'm Real Talk, and that's all I got to say about that. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.